Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing a model that came out in 2004 and was built in platinum in 500 pieces. This is the IWC Portuguese 7-day automatic reference 5001-04. Now, this is an interesting model because it would have been made in 2004. That was the only year this model featured caliber 50010. It was a one-year model, a variation on the 5001 that was superseded the next year by the higher beat movement. So this has the aesthetically pleasing slow beat movement, but it is the 5001 with the date, not reference 5000. So in platinum, it's 42.4 millimeters in diameter, it's 14.1 millimeters thick, and from lug tip to lug tip, it is relatively accommodating 50.8 millimeters, which is short for the size of the case. It has a 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs, and the watch fits well. On my wrist of 16 centimeters, it's a good match. I have to say, all things considered, it's flat enough to fit underneath a jacket cuff, though not the tightest of dress sleeves. And you can see that the watch would be appropriate on a wrist as small as 15 centimeters circumference, though not much smaller than that. The watch is weighty, all in platinum with a matching platinum clasp. It's an impressive piece. You can see the watch uses a strap of large rectangular scale alligator leather in a medium brown. It's got some bolstering to give it volume. You can see the edges are sheer cut with a monotone stitch, and then it's calfskin on the bottom. This is a brand new IWC factory strap, no crimping, no gouging. The watch includes a matching deploying clasp with the lovely original International Watch Co. logo inside, all of polish internally, and as you can see, polished and satinated externally. This clasp by itself weighs more than some ultra-thin watches I've encountered. The watch features individual numbering, which is relatively rare on modern IWC limited editions, as they tend to just be stamped 1 out of 500 or 1,000 or however many they're making. Individual engraving costs a bit more, and it ensures that each watch really is individual. You can see the case band is satinated. The bezel is concave. It's got a vertical portion and a concave portion. The lug hoods are polished, and we have the IWC motto Probusca Fusia on the crown. And it's important to note that the watch includes a very striking similarity to the Patek Philippe 96. 7 years separated the creation of the 1932 Patek reference 96 with the 1939 IWC reference 325 Portugueser. And although the watches were very disparate in size, they're very similar in form. That 1930s form follows function ethic with the blended in lug profile, the use of sub-seconds, Arabic numerals, and leaf-style hands. Again, scale is different, but the basic idea behind the design is very similar. The dial has a matte opaline silver base with a railroad track outboard, and you can see that for reading the minutes. We have applique indices outboard of applique Arabic numerals, and the dial has a handsome bilateral symmetry. You can split it from top to bottom, and it's symmetrical from side to side. We have a constant seconds display. We have a power reserve indicator, 7 days, a little faceted aperture for the date. One of the big differences between a 5001 and a 5000 is the presence of that date. Now we have a stop seconds function if we want to set the watch against a reference time, and we have a quick set to set that date display. The watch is lovely, handsome, and if you wish, you can wind it manually to enjoy the aesthetics of an advancing power reserve indicator, but it will wind itself automatically. No concerns there. As you can see, this is an interesting watch featuring caliber 50010, a relatively unusual movement, not seen too often. It was a 1 year in this model. After 2004, the reference 5001 changed over to a 51,000 series caliber that had a higher beat rate. So what we've got here is an automatic movement that is based on reference 5000 and 37 millimeters in diameter, and then some. The movement by itself is bigger than a Datejust 36, the whole watch. You can see there's a yellow gold medallion inside the rotor with the motto of the company. It's a 7-day power reserve with a single mainspring barrel, and you can see that The watch has been upgraded subsequently to ceramic pawls for the Peloton winding system. The use of the ceramic pawls reduces the problem of dirt on the movement that the Peloton could have caused in its earlier iterations. Now, what I like about this movement is that the Peloton system is very efficient, very shock tolerant, and true to IWC's history, as it was created by IWC watchmaker Albert Peloton in the late 40s and industrialized in the early 50s. Again, universally copied, very influential. It is tough, it is efficient, and with the ceramic pawls, it is also a very clean operating winding system. Now, this is the slow beat movement. It beats weight 18,000 vibrations per hour. You can see that there was a micrometric eccentric screw regulator used on these early examples. We also have a handmade Breguet overcoil hairspring to help the watch keep excellent time in any physical position with respect to gravity. And the 44 joule movement is adjusted in 5 positions, which is the same as most chronometers. Now, you can also see there's a combination of hand finishing and machine finish on this movement, and that is appropriate given the price and the stature of the piece. It is a beautifully made movement and remarkably large for an automatic. It has the pleasing slow beat balance that's highly sought, and there's just something about a manufacturer that's able to make a movement that's sized to suit a case. This is something you don't get when you're just dropping in ETA calibers. It's the hand and glove idea. 30 meters water resistant, so it is not a sports watch, but then again, you have an aqua timer for that. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this IWC Portuguese reference 5001.